So you are coming from Comfort and a beneficiary also of the advocacy to educate girls. You have experiences to share with us. Now, before we came on, you were telling us a very exciting story about a 12-year-old girl who, but for intervention, would have been married off as a child, would have been deprived of their education. Please share that with our audience.
So in the West Mamprusi district in the northern region, a young girl of about 12 years was given out for marriage. She ran away at the first attempt just so she could go to school. You can realize this is a girl coming from a village but very interested in going to school. In that community, it is noted for marrying girls. I mean, child marriage is very normal for them. So the young lady ran away and later came back feeling they might have forgotten about it. But when she returned, her parents allowed her to complete junior high school. But as she was still in school, they had arranged for her to be married off as soon as she completes junior high school. She pleaded with them so they could allow her to go to school. So they told her, if you complete junior high, then you are done with school, you can marry. So in 2014, just when she had written her BEC, she was forced and married off to a man. By tradition, they would lock you up or they would take you to the man's house. And so
how old was this man?
The man should be in his 40s. He has a wife and 5 kids already. Wow. So Gloria was going to be married off as the second wife. So she was rescued by Comfort in collaboration with Dofsu in Tamale. And she was taken out of the community. Then she went to secondary school. She's completed secondary school now. She graduated and completed 2017, last year. Gloria aspires to become a midwife.
Wow. By the time they are in secondary school, you find that there are more boys than there are girls. By the time you get to the university, there are even fewer women. Why is that?
Well, thank you very much. When adolescent pregnancy occurs, it shouldn't be life-defining. It should not lead to the adolescent girl not achieving her potentials. But having said that also, let me also make the point that adolescent pregnancy in our country today, what you have is that 1 out of every 5 young girls under 18, get pregnant. Either by way of marriage or sex happens. And if that is the situation, we will not be able to harness the enormous potentials that we have in the country and in Africa generally if they are sent out of school and they are not able to do what they need to do in order for the entire country to be able to achieve what we want to achieve. And if we are going to be able to see a Ghana beyond aid, we will not condone that. That's why the opportunity of the International Women's Day today, we need to stress that fact to say, one, we want to prevent the adolescent pregnancy. At the same time, when it happens, we must have a means of bringing them back to school.
Well, the second is all too familiar with. You are from the central region. One of the major challenges you're battling is teenage pregnancy. Obviously, that has implications for the young girls being able to further their education and achieving their potential. How big an issue is it, and what are you doing about it, more importantly?
Poverty has become both the pull and push factor for teenage pregnancy. In some cases, some of the girls say that, and because of a lot of children under maybe a single parent, usually the mother, and the woman is not able to cater for them, this child is allowed to go out and fend for herself.
At what age, roughly, are we talking?
Adolescents.
Okay.
Children and then adolescents. So they go out there in search of help. And usually it's the men that give this help. And You know, nothing is for free in this world. So when something is given to you, you also have to give something in return, and it leads to the teenage pregnancy.
Thanks for you. And this afternoon we want to focus on solutions. So what is the ministry doing? First, to ensure that girl-child education is real. There's free education, but like the First Lady said, it's only useful to those who take advantage of it. Then there are all these incidents of child marriages as well.
Education is key to development. You cannot develop without education. And since 1998, Ghana signed on to the Children's Act to ensure that every child of school-going age is in school. Unfortunately, the gap between the dream, between the policy and the reality and the practice is far. And that is mainly due to poverty, that our people feel that it is easier to let your child get married for the bride price. Let your child help you at the market, take care of younger siblings, go and sell ice water on the streets and what have you. But since when have children fed parents? Children becoming breadwinners. It's anti our culture. Parents should take care of children. And then when the child goes to school, gets an education, as we say in Accra, obeba be paper weninsu, to wait, that child, when it's educated, would come and clean your tears and fetch water for you in your old age.
What are we doing to make sure that girls and their parents take advantage of that, for instance? And what are we doing to reduce the incidence of child marriage?
Thank you very much. With the issue of free SHS, it's important that, especially people who claim that because of poverty, children should not be in school. You don't pay for anything from kindergarten to the SHS level. It is free. Everybody must allow their children, especially the girl child, to be in school. This is why our president, the gender champion, has given this free gift from the taxpayers' money, a priority to education that would unleash the full potential of all our children forever. It's important that this policy should be well supported across all of rural Ghana. And we also have the Child and Family Welfare Policy, as well as the Justice for Children Policy. We have the Gender Policy and Social Protection Policy. We are taking the Affirmative Action Bill. It's in Cabinet now, and when it's approved, we will send it to Parliament.
Now, I know that these are customary in some communities. So if somebody does that, is there anything legally that can be done to prosecute the champions of child marriage, say in the Mamprasi district, for instance?
Yes, indeed. The northern region has the highest prevalence of child marriage of over 39%, followed by the upper west, upper east, and then it comes down. So what it is that in rural Ghana, the prevalence of child marriage is more severe. And so we are talking about a national strategic framework on ending child marriage. This is
brilliant.
the
A
national
round of applause for that. This is obviously some bold policy initiatives.
Yes, 2017 to 2026. That means we have 6 years to end child marriage. And it's a collective ability.
So assuming somebody like Comfort comes across a girl that is about to be, giving away as a child in child marriage, for instance, what steps can she take? in line with this policy to make sure that the child is saved?
First of all, you have to report to the police. Most of the time, it's a family member or a friend who does this. And the family will rather stigmatize or pressurize the person, the child, not to report because it is a family member. But if your family member loves you, they shouldn't be abusing your rights. And so it's important that victims must report. And they are also threatened that when you report, something bad will happen to you or your family. The other thing is, I know that traditional rulers are working hard, but they are not the law.
Sure.
And so the traditional ruler might ask for a carton of schnapps, water or minerals or a goat. Then that goes to the traditional ruler. Then the culprit goes scot-free and does it again. But the victim has to live with the trauma forever. And then their future is destroyed. So there is a penalty that when you get involved in child marriage is 1 year's imprisonment, or you have to pay a fine of 500 Ghana cedis or both.
I think the 500 is small. It's small, isn't it? So everybody says the 500 is small.
We are
but at least
reviewing
there's 1 year jail term that you could,
exactly.
you know.
We are reviewing the law. And we are going to work with the Queen Mothers, the traditional rulers, the teachers, the CBOs, everybody, the media, to ensure that we drum it in that child marriage is a dishonor.
Thank you.
It's a disgrace.
Thank you very much. I think it's a good